Hello all. I'm gonna make a quick video on how to basically make perfect boiled eggs every time. Um, First thing is you will need your pan and the right amount of water. So I'm going to show you how much water I'm going to put in my pan. And the pan I'm about to show you is already finished and it's cooling off, which is key to the process. But here's a pan. And when you're starting to boil water, it's not going to have any eggs in the pan, but you only want to put enough water to where it would go over the eggs. So you would put your water in your pan, but the pan would be empty, just water. Put it on your stove, on high. Okay, it can be cold water, warm water, doesn't matter because you need to bring it to a boil. Once you bring your water to a boil, a good rolling boil, keep it boiling and just start adding your eggs. What I do is I use a spoon like this and I'll put an egg in it and I'll just gently lay it in the water. And gently lay it in the water. Here, I'll show you how I do it. So what I would do is I would take the egg out of the carton and this would be boiling and I would just lay it in there gently. And one thing you got to understand about boiling water is with an egg, if there's just the slightest crack in an eggshell, it'll basically kind of explode out into the water. But it doesn't matter. Just let it do what it needs to do. It's just a little bit of egg. It'll be a little bit deformed when it's done boiling. So you got your water's boiling. You add all your eggs into the water and you just keep it boiling. And you will boil it for 13 minutes. I always set a timer to keep the water from splashing around. You can put a lid on it and lower the heat down a little bit, but to make sure it keeps that boil. 13 minutes. After that 13 minutes is done, use something to maybe pour the water out. Maybe a pan lid like this. You could use a lid and kind of put it on the side and let the water run out. Make sure all the eggs stay inside the pan. So after you don't have to get all the water out, but most of the water out, then you will start cold water and let cold water just run over those eggs for about 60 seconds. Just let it keep running over those eggs. Then, after that 60 seconds is over, keep enough water in there above the eggs again and add ice. Add as much ice as you want. Make sure you have, at least 5 or 6 handfuls of ice in that water. And then you want to let that sit for 15 minutes in that icy water. And then after the icy water is done, I'm going to show you what it's like to peel the egg. It's going to be a nice smooth egg. I'll show you some I got already. These are some nice smooth eggs. Well, this one's got a little bit of a deformity on it. Let me show you one that I guess is quality egg. See this one? It's a nice and smooth egg. So here's the ones already done. So what you do is you're gonna roll this bad boy. I'm gonna try to do this with one hand because I gotta hold my phone. And what I do is I just peel a ring around in a circle. And this one's not really working. It's really hard to do with one hand. And you can be gentle about it. But so the trick is, right, when you're letting it sit in that water for 15 minutes, you are making the egg shrink a little bit away from the shell, which is going to help. So here's my circle, right? It's kind of like the equator around the earth. So look at that. It just slides right off. And these little ones, this is not going to slide right off. I'm going to have to, oh, maybe it will. Look at that. It just slid right off. So, basically you got a nice egg. And we're going to rinse the rest of this off real quick because we don't want eggshell. Let me turn on this water. Let me turn on this water and rinse it off. Okay. Alright, so there's our shell. So now I'm going to cut it in half and let you see what it looks like inside. guess I should put a... Nope. This will do. Alright, so cut this in half. Whoa, look at that nice yellow yolk. Look at that. It is nice and yellow. It's not brown and gray or gray and greenish like you normally see. It's a nice yellow yolk. So, as long as you do that every time, and I got my wife doing it this way too. So, let's recap. We are going to add water to the pan just higher than where the eggs would sit. Boil that water for 13 minutes. Add eggs into the Add eggs into the boiling water. Boil for an extra 13 minutes. And then empty that water out into the sink. Run cold water over those eggs. Leave them in the pan. Run cold water over those eggs for a minute. Once that's done, fill up the water again just above egg level into the pan. Keep them in the pan. Add ice, 5 or 6 handfuls or more if you want. Let it sit for 15 minutes. You should be good to go. If you have any questions, let me know. All right? Take care.